Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I was going to share with you some of my must-have breastfeeding products that I have used over the years. I am a mom of three, all boys, 7, 3, and 1. Now I am still currently breastfeeding my 13-month-old Roman. So collectively I have breastfed my boys for 5 years, well, a little bit over 5 years collectively. So that's a lot of experience I've had. So I wanted to share with you some products that I love, some products that I don't really use, or maybe I used the first time and didn't use the second and third, or wished I had the first time, things like that. If you are new here, I would love it if you subscribed, and please leave me a comment letting me know that you subscribed, and I will comment back. So my number one must-have breastfeeding product is the Boppy pillow. This I've had for 7 years, over 7 years now, from my first baby shower. It's the same one. It has held up great for 5 years of breastfeeding. I do have 3 different covers that I swap out. This one has the nice comfy, cozy, soft fabric on one side, and then just a cotton on the other. So right now, I don't know if you can see out the window, but there is snow here. In February, I'm in Michigan. So I use the comfy one, the warm one right now. And this is the Boppy brand. There are other brands of nursing pillows out there. I have loved this one, so I have never ventured out to any other kinds. You just put it on like this, and you set it there and breastfeed your baby. I still use it with my 13-month-old, so I've used it from newborn until now. He's almost to the point where I may not need to use it. I don't use it with every feeding. Right now, I am at the point where I usually just nurse him at bedtime if he wakes through the night, and then sometimes for nap time if I get him down for a nap. So that's where we're at in our breastfeeding journey with Roman. So also this rocking chair is something I didn't have for my first baby, but I've had it for my second and third. So the rocking chair combined with the Boppy has been awesome. I am in Roman's room right now, so the rocking chair is in his room, and this is where I nurse him to sleep using the Boppy, and then I put him in his crib when he is sleeping. That is what works for me and Roman, and I know everybody puts their kids to bed differently, but that is what works for me. Okay, so definitely recommend the Boppy. The pillow itself is washable. You can put it in the washer and dryer. Same thing with the covers. I usually switch mine out at least once a week when I'm doing laundry. If it gets, like, you know, spit up or milk leaked on it or something like that, of course I can wash it more often, but love this thing. Also, this cover I've had since my first baby too, so it's held up for you know, the 5 years of breastfeeding as well. Second must-have product that I wanted to talk to you about is Lanolin nipple balm nipple cream. I love the Medela brand. Let's show you here. It is Medela Tender Care Lanolin. Soothing relief for sore nipples, safe for mom and baby. All natural ingredients, slides on smoothly and gently. So yes, I have also used, I wanted to show you the Lansino brand of Lanolin. And they're both Lanolin, they're both all natural, safe for mom and baby. The difference is that this one, the Lansino, is it's not as smooth. Like, it is harder. You have to kind of warm it up on your fingers, and it's more like sticky. This is Lincoln. He's my 3-year-old, and we're talking about breastfeeding right now. Yeah, we're talking about nursing baby brother. Lincoln wanted to come join me. Medela nipple cream is, the consistency is very smooth. It is super soft. And this one is a lot thicker. Like, it's very hard and you kind of have to warm it up on your fingers, at least in the winter. In the summer, it will like when it warms up, it does get to more of the consistency of this one, but I just prefer this one because it's easier, it's quick, on the go. So I have, I did go through one of these because this is the one I used for my first and second baby, and in the hospital they had samples of this kind. So that's when I decided to buy some of this. I would keep this one in my diaper bag, and then I wanted to show you, I did go through one whole thing of this and I repurchased it, and I did not repurchase this one. So definitely get that, use it after every time that you nurse or pump. Make sure that your nipples are not being cracked or anything like that. You just put it right on each nipple. It will leave like an oily stain on clothing. So if you're wearing a t-shirt or something like that without a bra, it will stain your shirt. Eventually it comes out, but it takes many, many washes. So I just have a stack of t-shirts reserved for when I'm breastfeeding that I kind of, you know, wear as pajamas, and they both have, you know, oily nipple stains on them from this, but I have not had any issues with cracked, bleeding nipples or other things. So I really recommend this. Use it. It is definitely worth it. You don't want to have issues with your nipples hurting when you are nursing your baby. So I have had things like milk blister and other things come up, and I use this and it does help. Another product that I wanted to mention is these nursing pads. So there's different brands. I have this box of Lanolin ones. It is still full because my third pregnancy. My body isn't overproducing like it was with my first baby. So I really did not need to use these that much. I would use them like if I was going somewhere and I didn't want to be leaking. I wasn't sure if I would leak initially. I would put the pads in my bra, but I really didn't have trouble with leaking, only with my first pregnancy. So, or my first baby that was nursing, I should say. So if this is your first baby, chances are you are going to have leaky milk coming out. I do have some of these reusable ones. So reusable things, I know they're not for everybody. Your life may be busy. You may not have time to wash reusable things. But these are reusable breast pads. They are just layered cotton. They're very soft. I got them off of Amazon. Actually, all of these things you can get on Amazon. These do work. They don't like get soaked. If they do, you can change them out. So for my second and third baby, I preferred to use these because they're not as like scratchy or itchy as the disposable kind. So I would use these a lot. So I do recommend these. Another product that for me is not really a must-have is a nursing cover. So with my first baby, you know, I didn't really know what it would be like, and I had a few nursing covers. I had the kind that were kind of like an apron. They have like a strap that goes around your neck, and then some of them had like a wire here to make it come out so you can see your baby. It was basically like an apron that you wore in the front. You know, I'm sure you've seen them. I would use that sometimes with my first baby, Devin, and he didn't really like it. You know, he didn't like his face being covered. So most of the time I would just find somewhere where I could breastfeed alone, you know, whether it be like in the car or in a private room. So I did that a lot with my first child because I was not comfortable breastfeeding without a cover, and he didn't like the cover. So most of the time I would just find somewhere else to go, which was not always convenient, but that's what I did. So moving on to second baby, Lincoln, that's when I started using these. So I wanted to mention this if you know, you weren't a fan of the apron kind of covers. This is one of those muslin blankets. The cotton, they're super soft. They're really big. This is the brand Swaddle Designs. There's a few different brands, probably a lot of different brands that make them. I like these ones, and then there are some other ones that I have as well. So anyways, these are nice and big. So I would take this and actually tie it in a knot, two ends in a knot, just loosely, you know, like that. and then I would put it over my neck, and I would use this as a nursing cover. So I could still kind of like, if I held it, I could peek through and see, and then I could nurse on either side using this, and it wasn't an extra thing. I already had this in my diaper bag as an extra blanket, so that's kind of just how I started using it if I needed it. So I tried using this a few times at a restaurant, and it was really difficult, and I was frustrated because he was crying and he didn't want to be under this. So then I just nursed him without a cover, and at first, I was kind of self-conscious. Is everyone looking at me? All of those thoughts flooded in. But I got more comfortable with it the more I did it. So now with my baby Roman, I have never used a cover. I just nurse him without a cover. If people don't really stare at you when you're breastfeeding, you may think everybody's looking at you, but when you look around, nobody's really watching you. And I've never had anyone approach me and tell me you can't breastfeed here or you can't do that. So it's definitely something I've gotten a lot more comfortable with now that I am on my third baby that's breastfeeding. Another must-have is a good nursing bra. You want one that's not too tight. If you get a nursing bra, that they have a lot of different styles now. If you get one that's too tight, like too tight on the band, it could give you problems with clogged ducts, and that is painful, and it could develop into more serious problems, milk blisters, mastitis. So make sure it's one that is comfortable and not too tight. I would say skip the underwire altogether if you're able to. Another product that I love for breastfeeding, it's something that I did not have for my first baby, but I wish I did, is this Haakaa bulb syringe suction. I guess it's technically a pump. So basically what it does is it collects your milk that may be leaking, or the letdown from the breast that you are not nursing off of. So if, let's say I'm nursing my baby on this side, I will have this on this side. And all you do is you would squeeze it, and then you put it up to your breast, and then you let go, and the suction will hold it there. So, and it's kind of flimsy, if you got to make sure that it's really on there, like test it a few times so it doesn't spill, because it loses its suction, it will drop and spill. So if you can't have your hand on it, maybe have this supported on your nursing pillow or something like that. It works great. There are many times I would get 3-4 ounces just from the side that I wasn't nursing on, and something that worked for me. All of our bedrooms are upstairs, so we have a mini fridge in our laundry room upstairs, so I wouldn't have to go downstairs to the fridge in the middle of the night when I was using this. I would just put this in the mini fridge upstairs. So that was something that was helpful for me as well. So I definitely recommend this. They are really inexpensive. Mine came with a 2-pack, came with lids as well. The lids are kind of flimsy, so it's not like you could put the lid on and it, falls over, and it probably still would spill. What I would do is I would have a little cup, and I would sit this in the cup on my nightstand until I was ready to get up. Talking about pumps, another must-have product for me that I actually just got for my third baby is a hand pump. So I've always had the double electric breast pumps. I've always used the Medela brand. I didn't use this super often, but it did come handy if, I was engorged on one side, or baby was sleeping, he wasn't going to nurse again for 2 hours or something like that. I would use it, and you just, put it on and go like this. Now, it does get tiresome for your hand muscles back and forth, I will say, but it does work well. It comes with this little foot thing that you can put it in so it doesn't fall over when you set it on a table. So I do recommend this. I got the Medela brand. I use the Medela brand for my electric pumps as well, so the parts are pretty, compatible, so I can use the bottles, I can switch them. The valves and the membranes are the same. The flange is also the same. The only difference is this part. This is solely for the hand pump. So I definitely recommend that. Something that I also wanted to share was if you need replacement parts, like if you need a replacement valve or membrane, which is like the little yellow thing and then the white little rubbery flat circle piece, or if you need a different size one of these or tubing or anything, you can get that all on Amazon, and you can get off-brand. You don't have to get Medela. I got a few that are different brands and they work just fine, and I got them from Amazon. So I have a bag full of pump parts that I use, and I don't use them anymore, but when in the beginning I did. So definitely, if you are going to be pumping often, get yourself a few extra pump parts, you know, the bottles and the whole setup. You don't need extra tubing. I always had a backup that I kept with my pump just in case something happened and the tubing got contaminated, like while I was at work or something. Definitely have some of these so if you're not able to wash them as you go. That way you always have clean pump parts. Another tip I did want to mention is when I went to work, I would go pump, you know, halfway through my shift, and then I would rinse my parts and put them in a clean Ziploc gallon-sized bag, and then I would put them in the fridge. And that way I could use those same parts when I pumped again on my way home because they were still okay to use because they were in the fridge. So that is something you may not know. I never bought one of the hands-free pumping bras. I just never found one that fit for my size. So something that I would just make my own. I would either use a tank top, like a cami, or I had this little like bralette, and it's just a stretchy bralette that, you know, I wasn't really using, and I just put it on and I marked like where my nipples would be when I was wearing it, and then I cut little slits, and this is stretchy, so the slits were just big enough for me to get the pump part through, and then I would just put this on. So like what I would do for pumping on my way home from work is right before I was going to leave work, I would go in the bathroom and I would put this on over my bra. And then when I left, when I would get in the car, I would pull my bra down and get myself set up with this to pump on the way home. I could do another video of how pumping in the car if you like, just let me know. It's something that I did for a long time that worked well for me. Get yourself a good double electric pump. Now, if you live in the USA, right now we are still having the Affordable Care Act. So that means if you have health insurance, a breast pump is covered for you. So if you don't have health insurance, you may have to look at other options. Renting is an option as well that you can do, but make sure you get yourself a breast pump. You just need a prescription from your doctor, and you would get it from a medical supply store. A lot of times the hospital or the company like Medela or whatever will do that process for you. Something else I wanted to mention is vitamins. Make sure that you're still taking vitamins when you're breastfeeding. It could be prenatals, it can be just a women's multivitamin. Currently, I am doing the Centrum Women's. I got this on Amazon. And I did this when I ran out of my prenatals. And just make sure you're taking a daily vitamin. That way it helps you, and it's also, some of it's being passed along to your baby. If you do pump right after you take vitamins, or like, you know, within a certain window of taking them, your milk will be kind of fluorescent yellow. The last thing I wanted to mention is make sure you have a good water bottle. Something that is easy to do one-handed. I didn't bring it up here, but I have a Yeti that I like to use that I can just sip out of the spout. When you're breastfeeding, you may only have one hand free, so to have to do a lid is going to be difficult. For me, having larger breasts, I do have to use one hand to support my breast and then the other hand to usually support the baby. Once we get the hang of it, I can let the baby kind of just be supported on the Boppy, and then I have a hand free to drink my water. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Okay, so that is it for my top breastfeeding products, the things that I know that I would need to have if I were to breastfeed again, or like I said, I'm currently breastfeeding, but if I were going to start over again, I would make sure I had these products. They're things that I mostly currently use. I'm not using like the pump stuff right now just because we've kind of weaned down and we're only doing nursing at bedtime, and the other milk that he drinks is now whole milk. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please leave me a comment down below if you have any questions, or if there's any other breastfeeding specific videos that you would like to see. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed. Let me know that you have subscribed when you comment as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. I would love your feedback. Good luck on your breastfeeding journey. I hope that you and your family are blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.